All right, good afternoon. It is March 23rd, 2022, and today we're looking at two measured legs down. It's funny because I had this measured move drawn, but when we had this triple bottom right here in this bounce, I was like, maybe it's going to go higher because it looks like a failed break beneath the overnight lows, but that turned out not to be an important price level. And yeah, you can see right at the close, we hit that measured move. So this stuff is very, very real market geometry, as Mac always says. So let's take a look, or maybe I'll go back a little. You can see we had this leg of correction. It wouldn't surprise me if this was two measured moves. Okay, so we failed to hit those measured moves of correction. And then we had another leg down, a break of that, some sideways action, and then we eventually hit that target. So we had the spike in channel from the overnight, and pretty clear spike in channel down. So you know what? This is a lower high, so you can't go short on this. Otherwise, it looks like a great entry. So unfortunately, you don't get an entry there. You get a first entry, second entry, and I'm sure that trapped all the bulls right there. So that's a very nice trap. If you can spot that and you're patient and you see how this fails to close above the EMA, I think you can take that. It's off the trend channel. But if you're patient, you get a second entry short right here. You probably would have had a heart attack, and it looks congestive, so it's tough. But I just feel like this is probably one leg down and we're going to get another one. So I really like the way that looks. Unfortunately, you don't get a setup here. And then right here, you get a second entry short. And with how strong the bias is down, I should probably mark this aggressive. The signal bar is not great. It's above the EMA. Yeah, there's a few factors that make this aggressive. We haven't hit the lows of this channel in a couple swings, so that's definitely aggressive. We come up here at that same price level, you get a second entry short. It's just, it looks like one move up, so that's why I'm marking that aggressive. Then we start getting some buying to come in. We have a break of that spike and channel down, and we break up into this range, so the bias in this range is up. This is a third entry, and it looks like we're still in a leg of correction. So, however, it is a so we haven't really had a close outside until here. So yeah, I don't know about that one. This one again, this looks pretty good after the fact, but I don't think we didn't really know. Did you have a new high here? We didn't have a new high after this, so I'd probably be expecting price to make a new high. So you might consider this on like a double test. First entry failed, second entry long up here. It's just the bias. We don't know if we're going higher. So this is something to consider as well. I won't mark those, but then we have, I saw this as a range. It also looks like it's trying to test the midline of the overnight highs and lows. We break out counter trend because we broke high into that range, and you get this higher low. And I really like that entry. It looks like it's off the trend channel just to ride it back to the EMA. Like I said, I really like that entry. Plenty of room, 78, 75. Yep, enough room to scalp out. And you probably could have gotten like a 2 or 3 point runner up to here. So I wouldn't take this second entry short because the first time breakout usually fails. And look, we then break out to the high side. But anyway, you get this. I guess this is just a higher low. It looks like two leg pullback It is technically oh no, it's a third entry, but it looks like a two-legged pullback to me. It's just that you're going into these highs. It's aggressive. Like correction. So let me delete this. I wrote in my journal about that because I entered on a limit order here, and probably wasn't a good entry, but you can see us forming congestion at the midline, and then you get a failure, but we're going into these highs. So you could see that was a really good trade, and this was a channel up, but it's just a channel of correction. It turns out to be, you knew something was up because we're not hitting these highs, and that really looked like the midline to me. So even if you move it down to here, we're not hitting those highs. So something's up, and that eventually leads to a break. And I actually went long here just because it was so low risk, and I think it was a 4-tick failure. 81.25. Yeah, 4-tick failure right there. I wasn't too annoyed with that. I also got trapped here, and I am annoyed with this because I was going right into this level of support, going short into it. And you can see I just entered a little early because here it pulls back and you get a nice move down. So yeah, that nice move down. I don't think you would have this trend line drawn yet, so I don't think I can mark that, to be honest. Then we come here and you get a first entry, second entry. It doesn't set up, but then you get this third entry, and that looks really good to me. You can see it looks like we have a break outside and a move to a new high, and it confirms the trend channel, so I like that. And if you don't take that, you get a failed second entry long right here. Then it's off to the races. Down here, we make this triple bottom. I don't see anything to enter on here. It's hard to tell what's going on. If we're going to bounce because we're at the overnight lows or not. But I had a feeling because of this, the way this moved down and the leg of correction and the resistance at the midline, I just had a feeling we were going to make a measured move down. So this stuff is just too choppy. Then we bounce, make that triple bottom, and you get a first entry, second entry short right at that level of resistance from here. So you might consider that to ride it back to the EMA, and you can see it bounces there a little bit, but then comes down a little further. So here you have a second entry long. It's also a failed second entry short, and look how bullish that is. And I really like that, at least to ride it to these highs. Then that fizzles out, and we're just chopping back and forth again, and I don't really see much I like in here. It's just this is clearly a range, but right at the close, I saw the second entry short I liked, and that's a little congestive too, but it looks like a second entry. So that's what I saw for today. I hope everyone has a great day. Let me get one last look at this. Hope everyone has a great day. God bless. I'll be back tomorrow.